Yo. Yeah. I think it's kind of weird. Exodus 20:13 says, "Thou shalt not kill." I think it's very interesting that the powers that be, quote unquote, are pushing their huge gun agenda during this year, as if to make us subconsciously think Exodus 20:13. So it's a sin to kill, blah blah blah. But if you know the original Hebrew, the word for kill is actually rasa, and this means to kill in cold-bloodedness, to murder someone. It also means to kill for revenge. It is non-specific to self-defense. And what's interesting is that in was it Luke 22:38? Jesus is talking to his disciples, and his disciple says, "Look, Lord, here are two swords." And Jesus says, "That's enough. That'll be enough." A lot of people want to say that oh, that's enough. Stop talking about it, as if Jesus himself, the non-sinner, got angry. So let's not talk about it anymore. Even though I agree with it, let's stop talking about it. No, he's saying two swords is enough, because that's exactly the kind of technology that the Romans had. If you have something equal to them, an equalizer, it is okay to have to kill someone in self-defense. To have to kill someone in self-defense. So in the Torah, it implies that to murder in cold blood is obviously wrong. 2013 Exodus. And then Luke 22:38, I believe that's it. Jesus says those two swords will be enough. So in a sense, Jesus did believe in the right to bear arms. To bear defense against the stupid government who doesn't let you have freedom of speech, like back in the day, which is kind of what it's turning into now. Along those lines, we are having the current destruction of our Bill of Rights as we speak. The First Amendment is not so much anymore, because they say protests are low-level terrorism. Okay, so that's out. Second Amendment is being misunderstood. People think it's not an individual right to bear arms. It's a collective thing. No, it's an individual. The militia are the citizens, not the powers that be. The Fourth Amendment was pretty much broken under the Brady Bill by Clinton, the other Democrat, who specifically said, and I quote, "We need to find a way around the Constitution." He was invading people's homes in Chicago, totally just because they might have had a handgun. Who gives a fuck? The Fifth, Sixth, and Seventh Amendments are pretty much shot down by the Patriot Act and the NDAA. So, cruel and unusual punishment, trial by your jury and peers is negligent under this communistic country we live in right now. Due process, all that. And the Eighth Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. Guantanamo Bay, that's still up, people. The 10th Amendment is completely overlooked by Obama, who alters the Constitution daily. The 10th is like, you shall not change the articles, whatever. The 11th Amendment means nothing if the federal government keeps arresting medical marijuana patients in legal states. So, the states being an entity of themselves, Obama completely overlooks. He's had more medical marijuana rates than Bush's whole 8 years. Let's see. And the 22nd Amendment, where the president can only serve 2 terms, is trying to be repealed. I mean, we've all heard this before in the past, but Obama's zombies are really trying to repeal that shit. And that is terrifying to me, and it should be to you. Because if any of the groks is correct, then this stuff should happen under Obama's term. So if it's not in the next 4 years and he happens to extend it, then it'll still happen under his term. That's the creepiest part about the groks, is that it will happen within Obama's term, because he is supposed to be the man of perdition, all this stuff. I mean, he is the leopard. He's the sign of Leo, the lion. Okay, the forces, the powers, the pyramids stand for the old world order. And the Sphinx is exactly like that. He seems like a peace-loving Aquarius because his ascendant is that, but he is a Leo. He does not care about humanitarian goals. He's a tyrant, okay? And he's got Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn, so he tries way too fucking hard. Okay, wake up, people. I mean, I know it would be a lot better world if there were no guns at all. I mean, I'll be the first to say that. Of course, we'd have a more peaceful world, but they still have swords and shit, which they could oppress you with, so you would need an equalizer. Anyway, so, I mean, and if you argue that we should just take everyone's guns away and that'll cure it, you're a very dangerous person, because you act like there's no criminals who already own a gun who like would turn their shit in. You are the criminal if you're trying to take guns away from people who don't do crimes, because only the people with fucking a criminal record, felons, are the known killers in this world, and it is already illegal for a felon to own a firearm. So to say, well, it'll get the guns out of the hands of criminals, it's already illegal if you're a felon to own a firearm. Wake up. This is not a free country. And I mean, think of the two most peaceful characters of the civil rights movement, or even before that. You think of MLK, you think of Gandhi. Okay, well, guess what? MLK, he was a peace lover, but he was denied his handgun right in 1958. He wanted a gun to defend himself. So you can cross him off your list of gun control people. Gandhi, he said the blackest moment in Indian history was when the British took their arms, our arms. Gandhi. So you can cross him out of your gun control bullshit, you dumbass zombies. Okay, if Gandhi and MLK are saying it's okay to pick up to defend yourself from being beat up for no reason, then I would trust them, you know. Yeah, Malcolm had an AK, and he got shot too, but he still had the fucking right to have the AK, okay? Okay.